As Omicron spreads, some clinics are seeing 2 to 3 times more COVID-19 cases than at the start of the year. Finance Minister Lawrence Wong giving a sneak preview of what's coming up in this year's budget for Singaporeans. And we meet Singapore's hottest hawkers who are happy to show off their cooking skills as well as their six-packs. You're watching The Big Story. I'm Olivia Quay. You can subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you never miss a single episode. GP clinics that were opened over the Chinese New Year holidays saw a surge in walk-in patients, some with acute respiratory infection. Well, this was the queue outside the Inter-Medical COVID Clinic at Hougang Street 21. And one Northeast Medical Clinic saw more than 10 positive ART cases yesterday morning. There was also a sign at its Sengkang Square clinic saying that registration had to be stopped due to an overwhelming number of patients. Dr. Tan Teck, CEO of Northeast Medical Group, joins me now. Dr. Tan, what's the situation today compared with the first 2 days of Chinese New Year?
As expected, we have a bit of an uptake in the absolute patient numbers. At the same time, the acute respiratory numbers have also gone up quite a lot. In fact, this morning, some of our clinics are seeing like more than 20 cases of COVID positive cases.
So I understand Northeast Medical's clinics have also seen 2 or 3 times more COVID-19 cases than at the start of the year. Dr. Tan, what is the condition of these patients though?
Okay, most of these patients are very well. However, the interesting thing about them is that most of them complain of an initial sore throat, which is quite different from, say, previously when we see the other COVID patients. We are treating them as for mild cases, right? Is to get them to stay home as long as they can and for the symptoms to resolve. And they are also doing their self-test at home. And that really helps to alleviate some of the situations, say, in the hospital. We're trying to keep them at home so that the hospitals do not get overwhelmed. So yes, we are treating them as well cases who can recover from home.
Well, is there a difference between how serious a patient is now and how serious they were back then during the Delta wave?
I think when we were going through the Delta wave, we could see that a lot of the respiratory symptoms can be quite serious. Currently, this wave of Omicron cases, we have seen that the cases are fairly mild and mostly, like I said, it starts with a bit of sore throat and very little else. And patients are generally very, very well, in fact.
Well, Dr. Tan, with the GPs now having a bigger role in treating COVID-19 patients, how has that affected your clinic's operations?
I think GPs have been working very closely with Ministry of Health since the activation of PHPC, pandemic clinics, about 2 years ago. It is an example, really an excellent, how the private and public relationships, right? The partnerships have built capacity to cope with the demands in the pandemic. So our clinic operations are still very challenging because there's a need to deal with so many changes along the way. But there's another thing, which is the manpower shortage. Just like any other industry in Singapore, as doctors, we really hope that patients can be more understanding and especially that a lot of medical care cannot be rushed.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Dr. Tan. Dr. Tan Teck, CEO of Northeast Medical Group. And news in a few minutes ago, the Health Sciences Authority has approved Pfizer's oral antiviral drug for treating COVID-19. While HSA says Paxlovid is the first oral tablet approved in Singapore for the treatment of mild to moderate COVID-19 in adult patients who are at risk of progression to severe disease in order to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death. Well, the drug has to be taken twice daily for 5 days and should be given as soon as possible within 5 days of the onset of COVID-19 symptoms. More details on this at straitstimes.com. In other news, Finance Minister Lawrence Wong today giving a hint of what's in store for Singaporeans in the upcoming budget, which he will deliver in Parliament on February 18th. Mr. Wong was speaking at the annual spring reception by the Singapore Federation of Chinese Clan Associations and Singapore Chinese Culture Centre.
In about 2 weeks' time, I will be announcing the budget for 2022. We are heartened that the budget is taking place amidst a strong and steady recovery of the economy. Amidst this backdrop, we know that a few sectors continue to face difficulties. And for these sectors, we will provide support. We will also help Singaporeans manage concerns over more immediate issues like the cost of living. But at the same time, we have to look ahead and focus on measures that will put Singapore in a stronger position for the post-pandemic world.
The expansion of Marina Bay Sands is set for completion in 2026, a year later than planned. The $4.5 billion project includes adding a fourth tower, consisting of a new luxury hotel and an entertainment arena. MBS owner Las Vegas Sands expects a big bounce in tourism once vaccinated travel lanes are fully open. Our national carrier making headlines on the global stage, Singapore Airlines has been ranked the top global airline by Fortune magazine. Plus, it's cited as the leading Asian firm in Fortune's list of the 50 most admired companies in the world, with tech giants Apple, Amazon and Microsoft holding the top 3 spots. Facebook, meanwhile, has suffered a drop in daily active users for the first time, sending shares of parent company Meta down 20%. The social media giant sees revenue growth slowing due to more competition from the likes of TikTok and YouTube. The sell-off wiped $200 billion of Meta's market value. In sports, Hong Kong actor Jackie Chan carrying the Olympic torch up the Great Wall of China during the relay this morning on the eve of the Beijing Winter Olympics. Jackie braving the cold at minus 11 degrees Celsius. 55 new COVID-19 cases were found among games-related personnel today, the highest daily tally so far. Well, I hope you had a nice break over Chinese New Year, and now there's the weekend to look forward to. Let's begin with a palate cleanser and a Japanese take on Italian food. Senior food correspondent Wong Ah-yok is here to tell us all about this mashup of two very popular cuisines. So Ah-yok, will we find spaghetti and seaweed on the menu at Grissini in Robertson Quay?
Okay, Grissini is an Italian restaurant in Grand Coptham Waterfront Hotel. It's been around for a while, but recently it changed its concept. It used to be a traditional Italian restaurant. Now it's Italian food with a Japanese twist. So if you've been to Japan and tried the Italian food there, you'll know what I mean. The food is slightly lighter and they use a lot of Japanese ingredients. So that's what Grissini is doing now. And if you might find seaweed, you might find spaghetti. The menu changes all the time because it's omakase menu. There's no longer any a la carte selections. So the chef will change with whatever is in season, I guess. And yeah, you never know what you're going to get. I went recently and for my meal, I had somen instead of pasta, right? Somen is Japanese noodle. So they mix up the two cuisines like that. But there are some traditional Italian dishes as well. For example, the main course is a beef, but they use Japanese wagyu. So yeah. So if you like Japanese food and you like Italian cooking, yeah, that's the place to go.
Senior food correspondent Wong Ah-yok. Now, after taking the world by storm with Double Take, Singapore-raised artist Dhruv is making waves again with his debut EP. Music correspondent Dino Abdul Hadi joins us now. So, Dino, I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this one. Is it any good?
Hi, Olivia. Yes, as you mentioned, Dhruv has finally dropped his debut EP, Rapunzel, and yes, I'd say it's a good listen. I would highly recommend it to you if you are into like R&B and pop music. It's a very modern, current sound. The music's very smooth, melodies are captivating, and he's a very talented lyricist as well. And the hit song that you mentioned, Double Take, It was actually released in 2019 and it was a little bit low-key, but it slowly gained traction and people started using the song in their TikTok clips. It went viral, and the next thing you know, in around September last year, it started getting to the top 10 streaming charts. It went to #1 in the Philippines and Thailand, and it was in the top 5 in Singapore, in Malaysia, and Indonesia. Yeah, so Rapunzel, the EP, it includes Double Take as well, the hit single, and as well as 7 other songs. And you can see here that Double Take was not a fluke. We get to hear how dynamic he is as a singer and a songwriter, because the rest of the songs expand on his palette. He's quite a storyteller. If you listen to his lyrics, they capture what it's like to be a 20-something dealing with affairs of the heart, falling in and out of love, feeling uncertain about relationships and emotions. And yeah, the title Rapunzel is named after the fairy tale, and he says that it is inspired by memories of his youth. So these are very universal themes. And from what I understand, he's already working on a lot of new songs, and we can expect a full album from him in the near future. So he's definitely a pop singer to watch.
Music correspondent Adino Abdul Hadi. Last but not least, we have a special serving this weekend in the Sunday Times. Senior correspondent Jean-Marie Tan is dishing up Singapore's hottest hawkers. Yes, you heard that right. Well, Jean-Marie, tell us about the hawkers who have made an impression on customers and, not just for their cooking.
Yes, so if you're looking for some new eating places to check out, these hawkers provide not just tasty dishes, but also some eye candy on the side. For example, William Lin, he took over Hong Sing handmade fishball and meatball noodle at Bukit Merah View Market and Hawker Centre 3 years ago from his ailing parents. But he's no ordinary hawker. Last December, he was actually a runner-up in the Mr. World Singapore competition. And despite working at his stall for 12 hours every day, he still makes time to lift weights at the gym every day in order to maintain his abs and his biceps. So he definitely gets a lot of attention from his female customers, and he's your typical auntie killer. But actually, it is his male customers who are much more forward when it comes to expressing their admiration. David Nasami from Golden Charcoal Seafood at Upper Boon Keng Road, he's also another handsome hawker. But he gets second looks too because he's an Indian who can cook a variety of zicha dishes like mala crab, ha cheong gai. Plus, he speaks fluent Mandarin and Cantonese. And the best part is his stall has an open kitchen concept, so customers can easily grab a front row seat and watch him in action. And if you're looking to gawk at a movie star, go say hello to the lady boss at 8889 Chicken Hot Pot at Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3 and order her latest flavor, Drunken Chicken. Shirley Ling, she scored her debut acting role in Jack Neo's latest film, Our Girls Go Army, and playing a troublemaking alien recruit named Chao Ai Lian. So the attractive mother of 5, has always had showbiz dreams, but the stall is still her rice bowl. So she welcomes all the support she can get.
And that was senior correspondent Jean-Marie Tan. Thanks so much for that. Look out for more of Singapore's hottest hawkers uncovered by Jean-Marie in the Sunday Times' Life section. Meet the winning faces behind the food, great stories about them and what they hope to achieve. Visit straitstimes.com for more news and our YouTube channel for more videos. Subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Olivia Quay. See you tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.